They say every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they watch you.
And for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Corruption not in my country.
What is wrong with you? Man saying no. Tell them I drew for more than 1 hour.
Ìyá mi, ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ká kúrò fún Ọlọ́run. Ká satisfy yín níbi ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe.
Ẹ wọ́n jẹ́ ká lọ jàre. Ká kúrò níbí báyìí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú. Hello ọ̀gá. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín lẹ́sẹ̀ yín. I am assure you 5 minutes. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín. Ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
You are deceiving another customer just like you deceived us.
The same way he deceived us.
Eh? Why?
Ètò ní iṣẹ́ yìí. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun, ò lè jẹun. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun ìyá mi. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun. Workshop mi lélẹ́yìí. Ibi tí èèyàn bá ti ń ṣe ló ti ń jẹ. Ìyẹn ló ń pè ní workshop. Ibi tó bá ti ń work ni kó má ti shop.
You cannot base your business on lies. Go down now. It is corruption and it cannot work. Not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello viewers and welcome to this week's edition of Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I'm your host, Hawa Garba. According to Cambridge English Dictionary, attitude is a feeling or opinion about something or someone or a way of behaving that is caused by this. The quality of our behavior as citizens will determine to a great extent the height our nation will get to economically, socially, politically, financially, and so on. Today on the program, we shall be looking at the importance of a change in our attitude as citizens to ensure a corruption-free Nigeria. But first, let us hook up with Joy Aja as she brings us anti-corruption stories.
Thank you for joining us. I am Joy Aja with Anti-Corruption Stories. The acting chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Usman Abubakar, has declared that upholding human rights is a prerequisite for winning the fight against corruption. He made this declaration at a one-day anti-corruption advocacy and sensitization forum, which was organized by the Human Rights Awareness Initiative, HURAI, in collaboration with ICPC and National Orientation Agency at the agency's headquarters in Abuja recently. Dr. Abubakar, who was represented by Mr. Jimoh Sulaiman, stressed that corruption and violation of human rights had a symbiotic relationship. Therefore, for corruption to be eradicated, there was the need to ensure that issues of human rights were treated very seriously.
The fight against corruption cannot succeed without the full support, active participation and collaboration of key stakeholders and the society in general. To entrench rule of law and human rights, everyone must join hands and fight corruption by entrenching transparency, honesty, and accountability in our dealings. We must remember that a vibrant nation is built on a platform of good leadership, committed followership, sound morals, stable economy, sacrifice, and patriotism, as well as the rule of law.
Earlier in his remarks, The chairman of the occasion, Honorable Justice Ibrahim Auta, had said that even though corruption had stunted the growth of Nigeria, he believed that it could be reduced to a minimal level and therefore called on Nigerians not to leave the fight against the menace in the hands of the government alone. In his welcome address, the Director General, National Orientation Agency, Dr. Garba Abari, called for concerted action against corruption, saying there was need for all to join hands together to wage war against corruption.
The obvious negative impact of corruption on national development is monumental as it is devastating. It's condemnable, it is worrisome as it is absolutely objectionable. So we have blatantly refused to invite civilized behavior of transparency, accountability, promotion, and the protection of human rights, and speak zero tolerance in the protection of human rights and the abuse of office. It is against this background that the Federal Republic of Nigeria, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, signed into the Open Government Partnership as the 70th member nation in order to engender, promote, and facilitate the process and procedures of open governance, transparency, integrity of service, and openness. It is instructive to note, and of course also pleasing to hear, that Nigeria, because of the efforts being put in place to cut, contain, and mitigate the effect of corruption and the abuse of office, and to encourage openness, Nigeria has definitely elevated to the steering committee of the Open Government Partnership International. It is therefore heartwarming to note that the small efforts that are being made are bearing fruits not only nationally but also on the global scale. As partners in progress, the National Orientation Agency believes in the mission and the vision of the Human Rights Awareness Initiative. The 5th edition of Human Rights Awareness Journal that is to be unveiled today is very rich in content and useful in various organizations as resource material for your organizations and libraries.
The chairman, Governing Board of Hurai, Rear Admiral Peter Ebalema, who spoke during the event, expressed his pain that Nigeria, the giant of Africa, was being swallowed up by corruption and therefore enjoined all Nigerians to rise and save the country from the cankerworm. ICPC has arraigned Mr. Ademintola Areola before Justice Sherifat Solebo at the Special Offences Court in Ikeja for allegedly defrauding one Sonia Labota of the sum of 120,000 naira. The defendant, who was arraigned on a 2-count charge bordering on obtaining money by false pretense, was said to have collected money on the pretense of supplying 30 bags of poultry feeds, 15 crates of eggs, 10 points of layabirds, and a carton of broilers to the woman. The accused person, who committed the offense in March 2017, pleaded not guilty to the charge. However, the defense counsel Adema Badeje quickly informed the court that a bail application had been filed on behalf of the defendant, while the prosecuting counsel Yvonne William Mbata did not raise any objection to the application. Justice Solebo therefore granted the accused bail in the sum of 100,000 naira and a surety in like sum. He added that the surety must be resident and working in Lagos State, in addition to providing evidence of 3 years tax payments. The case was then adjourned to the 21st of May 2018 for trial. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Hawa. Stay with us.
Let's we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they want to.
Come on, hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Welcome back. We need to change for the sake of our own self-preservation as a nation. If our public institutions continue in the direction they are presently going and fail to uphold public trust reposed in them, if we allow greed and selfish interest to be our motivational thrust as citizens, then we should expect a social implosion sooner than later. Another important reason for this attitudinal change we are talking about is the need to redeem our national image in the international community. If we fail to do this, we risk losing many benefits, such as possible foreign investment, tourism potentials, and solid mineral resources, amongst others. We spoke with the Director, Public Enlightenment and Mass Mobilization, National Orientation Agency, Mrs. Ruth Ogun, who tells us more on the need for us to change our attitude and what the government is doing to reorientate Nigerians.
If we talk generally about values, we are talking about what makes up the personality of an individual, of a community, of a nation. And we have this entrenched in our constitution, in chapter 2 of our constitution, that states clearly that the national ethics, and which is also our values, are such attitudes like patriotism, social justice, religious tolerance, and hard work, and so many others. And we find that those are the things that promote a nation, that promote a people, that promote an individual. If those values are intact or are pursued, you find it that it becomes easy to have a country that is devoid of all the negative acts. So the values we are talking about cuts across cultural values, those things we hold dear to ourselves: trust, truth, justice, brotherly kindness, and forbearing, tolerating the other person in spite of religion, gender, and so on. So,
thank you, ma'am. Now let's look at the negative attitudes now, the one that is prevalent in Nigeria. Can you share with us some of those ones that you've noticed that need to be discarded?
Let's start from our homes, because we always say that it's the family that makes up the society. So if you start from the family, in those days our parents taught us how to be respectful, for younger people to respect the older ones. These days, that is fading away so fast. And then the next thing is how to be of good behavior wherever you are representing your family, having a good name, not getting involved in being a thief. You are not a robber, you don't fight on the street, you don't corrupt yourself with something that is not yours. In those days, in fact, if you go to school and you come back with a pen that is not yours, you get the beating of your life. Those are just negative attitudes now that is prevalent. People just pick things and get home, nobody is asking. People acquire money overnight. You see somebody with a big car, nobody is asking. Somebody is putting on a very big house, people will just be saying, oh, he like in the language we use in Nigeria, he has armor. Something like that. He has those are negative attitudes that you put on. Then you come down to the society. You talk about the way we used to live together in peace, in those days. Whether you are Muslim, Christian, you are in the same community, Christians celebrate with Muslims, Muslims celebrate. And you just see in a community, people, take care of the younger ones. It is not that this child is particular to this family, is a child of the community. Those ones are no more there. You find children now becoming devoid of right attitude, respect. No more, there's disrespect everywhere. And then you find children getting into prostitution. You see many of our children going. In those days, wow, you talk about a prostitute in a community, she's an outcast. But these days, some parents will even sell up their things to send their children to Libya to go and bring in money from the wrong source. So we see these are also wrong attitudes. Then we talk about even some harmful cultural practices that is still prevalent. talk about the issues of widows in our communities. Those are the things that even limit the rights of women. Women are not empowered, they are denied education in this age and time. You know, so many things happen. And even the children are disadvantaged, they are abused. We hear stories of what goes on, how people sell off their children. There is no value for life anymore. So those are some of the negative practices we have. Then you talk about in the workplace, where like in the schools, in the institutions, where you see lecturers, you know, negotiating for grades for children. No wonder the educational standard is falling. It will fall, because if you are paying for certificate, you don't have the quality, so what are you going to give to the society? So it's something that is affecting the whole system, and it's causing a lot of rot. And some of those practices are what the National Orientation Agency is talking about, that we should change. Talk about drug abuse. That's even the prevalent thing now, taking away our youth. It's not only the youth, married women are involved. All sorts. People are saying it's because there is no job, but people didn't have job in those days. Some went on their own for entrepreneurial skills. These days, people are just lay around, not doing much, and you see them still having money to buy drugs. So you find out, is that poverty that is leading them there? How do they get the money to buy drugs? So it's the wrong attitude. People, their perception now is you either become big through politics, or you become big through corruption or something. Those are very wrong attitudes. We need to change our attitude, and that's why Henry is talking about change begins with me, and that people should come on the right side, so that our nation can develop, our communities can develop, individuals can also develop.
Thank you so much, Ma.
Sir, I came here to find out what the progress is like, sir.
Oh, all is set for the commencement of the exams. Let's say about an hour.
I was thinking we could come to an agreement as to how to help the students.
Exactly what are you insinuating?
We would like to pay you for your cooperation.
Are you offering to bribe me?
No. It's some sort of compensation for your help.
By keeping away while the exam is on?
That's correct.
I will report you to the authority.
Report, K. No wonder some of you people die rejected.
What did you say?
I said that you are a man of integrity.
Offering to bribe exam official is corruption. And corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
The major reason we should change our attitude is for our own good. We all need to cultivate the habit of treating public property as if they were our own, obey rules and regulations, and exhibit a deep sense of patriotism in order to secure a better country for ourselves and a better future for our children. Remember that you can watch the program on our YouTube channel www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria, and also reach us via our toll-free numbers showing on the screen. That's our package for today. See you again next week. Good night.